Hi, we are going to talk about how to solve what we call multi-step equations. We don't really classify them as three-step or four-step. Once we recognize one-step equations, we recognize two-step equations. Anything that goes beyond that, we just call them multi-step equations. So what is the approach that we usually take? We're going to distribute if it's applicable. We are going to combine like terms. If it's applicable, you are only going to combine it on one side, and then you're going to solve it. So let's take a look at this example. 3 times x plus 5 plus 2 equals 23. First thing we need to do here is distribute the 3. It's going to give us 3x plus 15 plus 2 equals 23. You should be able to see that you have plus 15 plus 2 here. You add them together. That's going to give you 3x plus 17 equals 23. We are going to subtract 17. That's just a simple two-step equation. That's going to give us, I'm going to continue here, 3x equals 23 minus 17 is going to be 6, right? And then we divide both sides by 3, and we have x equals 2. And that's done. Let's take a look at this equation. We need to be careful with one thing here. With this equation, you have negative 3 in front of t minus 4 that you need to distribute. So when you distribute that, it is very important that you distribute the whole thing, negative 3. So then we continue. Negative 3 times t is minus 3t. Negative 3 times negative 4 is plus 12 equals negative 13. So if we look on the left hand side, we have 5 plus 12, that those can be combined. So 5 plus 12 is 17 minus 3t equals negative 13. We are going to subtract 17 on both sides, because now it's a two-step equation. Negative 3t equals negative 30. And finally, we need to get t by itself, so we are going to divide by negative 3, and our answer is going to be t equals 10. Okay, let's continue. Next example, so they can be increasing in complexity, but basically if you follow those 3 steps that I mentioned in the beginning, it's just a matter of completing all them in the correct order. So let's make sure we understand this example 3. We do need to distribute the 3 here, and as I've mentioned before, you do need to distribute that number with the sign, which is negative 4. Oops, apologize. So we are going to do that first. So we got 3m plus 3. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times negative m is plus 4m equals 18. Here we're going to have two groups of like terms. There are two terms that contain m, and there are two numbers. So then 3m plus 4m, 3m plus 4m is 7m. Positive 3 minus 4 is minus 1, and all that equals 18. So we add 1. We have 7m equals 19. And now we are going to divide both sides by 7. As we can see, 19 does not divide by 7, which is perfectly fine. That is our answer. We're just going to leave it in the form of a fraction. One quick comment about example 4. You do have fractional coefficients. So the best thing to do for a problem like that is to multiply the equation by the least common denominator here, which we only have one fraction, well, one denominator, which is 4. So what we are going to do to make our life easier here, we are going to multiply everything by 4. This will allow us to cancel all the fractions. So what I want to emphasize here is this gets multiplied by 4, this gets multiplied by 4, and this gets multiplied by 4. Everything that's connected by a plus or a minus gets multiplied by 4. So essentially what we have here is we're going to have 4 times 3 over 4k plus 4 times 5 over 4 times k minus 3 equals 4 times negative 1. So these two fractions here, that's going to cancel the 4 here, and that's going to cancel the 4, and thus we are not going to have any fractions any longer. So let's rewrite that without it. So it's 3k plus 5 times k minus 3 equals 4 times -1 is -4. We're going to need to distribute this 5 here. It's positive, so we just multiply by positive 5. We have 3k plus 5k minus 15 equals -4. 3k plus 5k is 8k. We are combining like terms now. Minus 15 equals -4. Then we are adding 15 to both sides. Right, let me continue here. So we're going to get 8k equals 11. We divide both sides by 8. It does not divide. 8 does not go into 11, so we are going to keep it as a fraction. And we don't need to worry about mixed numbers, but no, that's a separate discussion, whether you write them as decimals or mixed numbers or anything like that. Okay, I do have a real-life example here. So we have Tanya, who has $5 less than 3 times as much as Letitia. Together they have $83. And the question is, how much money does each girl have? So what we want to do is we want to set up an equation here and then solve it to figure it out. Since Tanya's money is compared to Letitia, let's say Letitia has X dollars. And then what do we know about Tanya? So Tanya is going to have $5 less than 3 times as much. So 3 times as much as Letitia, and $5 less means -5. Correct? So what we know is that together, meaning this plus this, is going to give you 83. So we're going to write x plus 3x minus 5 equals 83. That is our equation, and if we solve it, we will be able to figure out how much money each of the girls have. So x plus 3x minus 5 equals 83. That's 4x minus 5 equals 83. Add 5, add 5. We have 4x equals 88. Divide both sides by 4. And we get x equals 22. Now let's keep in mind that 22 is x, and x meant something in our problem. If we go back, Letitia has X dollars, so that means that Letitia has $22. And now to figure out how much money Tanya has, we need to use that 22 in this expression. So that would be 3 times 22 minus 5, which is 66, minus 5, which is 61. So Tanya has $61. We can verify this because 22 plus 61 indeed gives us 83. Okay, and that's how it's done. I hope this helps.